everyone. Welcome to Unreligiously. Welcome back. I just was on a 2-week cruise with my fiance to celebrate our engagement, and I had videos scheduled out, so it was super fun to come back and see you guys watching it and the comments that you made. I know that I've said it before a million times to you, but you guys commenting really means a lot to me. Some of you have actually even reached out to me over email to share some of your own stories, and it's very powerful. I am so interested in interviewing you guys yourselves about your personal experiences with religion, leaving religion, maybe finding a new religion. I'd love to hear about it. Right now, I'm compiling it, so forgive me if I'm not being quick to respond. But yeah, reach out if you'd like to share your story. I would love to hear from you. Today, we are going to get into Paul and Morgan's new video. If you aren't up to date, they made a video a little while ago called I Need to Repent. This video, I made a whole reaction to. You should really go watch it. I can't do a great job summing it up here, but essentially, Paul just gaslights Morgan. He did something wrong, and he gaslights her into thinking it's her fault, and she has this very manufactured experience with God where she feels like she needs to repent to everybody, and she says that if she is not living every single day in a heart posture of gratitude, she is spitting in the face of her friends, her family, her children, and God.
I have fallen into a trap of dangerous waters that I've been living in, maybe even drowning in for a long time now, of not really like living in the extravagant gratitude that I should have every day of my life for the life that God has given me, because it's not guaranteed. Not living in a heart posture of gratitude every single day of my life, like it's a waste. I'm like spitting in the face of everything good that God has given me. I'm spitting in the face of my husband. I'm spitting in the face of my kids and my family, my friends. Like, if I don't live in a heart posture of gratitude.
Here, they've created another video, and they talked about how everyone's criticism of them or of Paul in that video was not correct. You know, there were points in the video where Morgan was just sobbing and crying about feeling like a bad mom or like she's let everyone down or a bad Christian, bad wife. And he just doesn't say anything to comfort her, or he doesn't hug her. And people were kind of upset about that, myself included. And she's like, well, I don't like to be touched. And he knows I just want to vent. And that might be true. It didn't really land as true to the audience. We didn't really perceive it as full honesty, because it seems like this is a recurring theme from Paul and Morgan. Now they've posted this video. The title is Our Life is Perfect and Flawless. I think we can go ahead and assume that they're being sarcastic here. Just jump right in and see what they have to say.
This way, things in the August household have been perfect.
Perfect. It's crazy.
Over the last couple of weeks.
Everyone's pooping regularly.
Yes.
No one's thrown a fit, not a single fit. No tears have been shed from our 2-year-old or 9-month-old. It's crazy.
It would be an undersell to say that it was bliss 24/7, because it's literally beyond that.
Good morning, vlog. Great to see you guys. Morgan, good morning. It's a big weekend this morning. Lots going on. Family coming into town, and it is tournament weekend, baby.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, Paul has decided he's going to become a professional pickleball player. The criticism here, the general line on the internet, which I agree with, to be clear, I'm not trying to take a neutral stance here. I don't love the dynamic of their relationship. Paul is like the leader of the household and whatever, and then Morgan is the stay-at-home mom, except for now Paul's not working, and she's still the stay-at-home mom. Morgan does more filming than Paul does. She is still, working, doing the vlog the same that he is. And so it just feels like he's kind of taking a step back when he shouldn't be. Also, their channel doesn't get the views that can really, like, they're not like rich off of YouTube, okay? Like, they are probably supporting themselves maybe fully off of YouTube, but I think, Paul quitting his job is certainly a choice. That was something that they decided to do for a limited period of time. And so the burden has really fallen on Morgan. And after this last video, it was clear that Paul was like not where he wanted to be with pickleball. I don't believe that he won any of the games in his tournament. So I'm kind of surprised to see that he's still going at it, especially with the amount of criticism that he's gotten. It's clear that Morgan needs more help at home, but we'll let him continue.
Morgan is playing. I will be playing. I will be going into this particular tournament as around a 4th seed. Morgan, we're not really sure. Whatever the bottom seed is. No. So we're expecting some big upsets and some big wins today. Morgan's Poison Ivy. How is it going, babe?
Last night, but you can't really see it as much today. So that's good.
Good.
But
It's been a journey. I feel bad for you, baby. The kids are feeling good. We're eating our healthy breakfast with protein bagels and curries. Oh, good fun club. Luca, where are we going?
This is just really anecdotal, you guys, but my sister is 13 years younger than me. And so when I was 18 and I left the house, she was 5 years old. So I got to see some of these toddlers, all of the toddler stages, and obviously up through kind of that kindergarten age. And my brother worked at a pizza kitchen, and he said that someone there would say good bunk or like good bump, because a lot of times he would notice the kid would like look at them and like wait to see the parents' reaction of like, am I hurt? Was that bad? Should I be worried? Before they would start crying or being upset. And so we started doing that from the very beginning with my sister. Just, I don't know why, we just decided to adopt it. And yeah, 9 times out of 10, she didn't cry and just moved on. So I kind of wonder, I haven't seen any other comments on this video yet or commentary from exvangelicals like myself. So I wonder if people will see that as him being like dismissive of his kid potentially getting hurt, or if they'll see it as like a redirection, if that makes sense.
We're loading up to head over to the pickleball facility right now. I'm not playing yet. Yeah, we are part of 2 pickleball families, and our dads will be facing off today in one of the greatest rivalries of our generation. All right, guys, hair is fixed, and I'm locking in. I gotta be counting the green.
waiting on Daddy is slower than us. We're fast. And then we have time to just sit in the car in Jamaica. Ends up working out pretty good, right? You guys are right. Fashionably late, as always.
Morgan has been getting a little bit of heat on some of her, one particular reel that she posted. It's one where it ends up and the guy says, this remarkable creature is slow and deaf and blind. And Morgan's referring to her husband. And people are saying that's just
extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move.
shouldn't talk that way about your husband, but the reality is I'm very slow. And so it's funny.
I was speaking the truth.
There is truth. There is oftentimes truth behind our reels, or at least elements or specks, tiny, tiny specks of truth.
Oh, that one was ginormous, y'all.
Morgan, have we found a good resolve since our last 2 videos, and our last one ended up feeling a little bleak? Have we found a good middle ground? Are we okay to keep being real in our vlogs, or did we decide we were going to be shallow?
Yeah, we decided that we're going to start being really fake and lying to you guys about everything.
Dude, yes, things in the Olligas household. Let's just say this.
Flawless.
It's not that we want them to be fake and lie about what's going on in their household. And I do understand that they want, their audience is for Christians, you guys. And so they want their audience to see, like, we're not perfect. We struggle with real life things. And then that also can kind of validate their advice from a Christian perspective a little bit more. Like, we have struggled with X, Y, Z. We've been through it ourselves. We're not perfect. We get that. And I don't really have an issue with, Christian creators doing that. I don't really have an opinion on that at all. But the problem with what Paul and Morgan do is that it feels like emotional abuse or neglect, or something just doesn't sit right with the situation between them. The way that Paul condescends to Morgan and takes control of things. I mean, seriously, you guys go watch that I Need to Repent video. It's actually it's the first video on this channel, and it is what inspired me to make this YouTube, because it was so disturbing for me to see. And I was like, I just feel like I have to say something, and I know that nobody's going to see this. Nobody's going to watch my videos. And then now there are more of you here, and so that's really fun. But this only started like 2 months ago when they posted that video, and it just as somebody that's been through an abusive relationship, it really was disturbing to see the similarities. And spiritual abuse is a real thing too. And I don't like that they intentionally misunderstand what the critiques are. I think that people, even in the fundy snark communities or whatever, I think that the people in the fundy snark communities would respect them coming and saying, look, we saw that situation. We just see it differently than you guys, but we're going to try to be more aware about the dynamic of things and taking accountability. Or even if they just say, you know, we disagree, but pretending like the issue is something else. That's another thing that reminds me of the abusive relationship that I was in. It didn't matter what the issue was. If I was asking my ex to please follow through on something like getting furniture out of an apartment by the move out deadline, that conversation, no matter how hard I would try to keep it on topic, it would always be about something else. And there was a period of that relationship that was just maddening, where anything that I would bring up or say, or even if I would cry about something else, it could be about work, whatever, he would tell me that it was me getting upset with him for not agreeing to scratch my back. Okay. And that sounds crazy, right? That's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, were you just asking him to scratch your back? No, I wasn't asking him to scratch my back all the time. It made no sense. And I'd be like, I didn't ask you to scratch. And he's like, all you want is me to always do something for you, rub your back, make you dinner. Like, no, like it would be about always something else. And it feels like, yeah, like Paul and Morgan are taking that dynamic is what we are noticing in their relationship. I'm not saying we are maybe seeing it correctly. It is videos, but for what we're seeing in their relationship, and then they're doing that to us. I don't think Paul and Morgan are dumb. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what our issue really is. But I think probably Morgan can't even, with Paul, say, no, babe, their issue is that they feel like you're spiritually abusing me, because then they would have to have an actual conversation about that. And I don't think that Paul, if appearances are correct, which again, I don't know that they are. He seems like the aggressor in this situation, whether it's, just emotionally or spiritually speaking. I don't think that Paul would have that conversation. I believe that probably the conversation they're having at home is that we just don't want them to be real. We don't want to see real life. Real life makes us uncomfortable. We want them to be perfect Christians. That's not the case. And I think that they are. This is part of the dynamic in relationships and abusive relationships. The problem will always be something else that is a smaller problem than what it is. And that is completely manufactured by the abuser.
Let's just put it this way. Things in the August household have been perfect.
Perfect. It's crazy.
Over the last couple of weeks.
Everyone's pooping regularly.
Yes.
No one's thrown a fit, not a single fit.
No fit?
No tears have been shed from our 2-year-old or 9-month-old. It's crazy how perfect our life is.
It is. It would be an undersell to say that it was bliss 24/7, because it's literally beyond that. It's beyond that. If that was possible, it is.
I didn't even think about this in my commentary before, but them doing this toxic positivity, this is another one of our critiques. We're not asking them to be perfect and flawless. We are actually saying, why are you making Morgan find joy in that moment? It's okay that she's upset. Why are you making it so that she has to be okay with whatever you do? She doesn't have to be. And that's okay in any relationship. You don't have to be okay with 100% of everything that your partner does. You're not going to be. That's just not real life. It's just this convolution of what the problem is. And again, I think that's probably how the conversation is going inside of their house. But I think that is something that's driven by an abusive personality to keep the conversation off of the actual problem, because that would require them to acknowledge their behavior in reality.
So we're still going to do that? That's still the direction we're going to go with our videos?
We just might, take a pause, take a breather before we
film something heavy. Sorry for eating while we're doing this portion. I know that bothers some people. In all reality, though, I just got to say, life has been good. It's been a good week. People are healthy, other than Morgan's infectious skin disease, which hopefully will
Wow. Someone told me I have leprosy on Instagram.
Leprous wife.
Wow.
Well, I was just saying things are good. It's been a really blessed week.
Yeah. All right, let's go watch the pickleball.
We need to go 3-1. What we need to do.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're here. The tournament's about to start. Lock it in. Once again, I always wish that I was past this, but I'm feeling those jitters. But I know that they're good. It's your body telling you you're about to do something important. So you harness them, you lock in. Really excited. Let's get this tournament started, baby. What are you guys doing over here? Where are we? Don't spill it, buddy. This is a champ right here. This was not easy. We did not get babysitting. We wanted to. But she is literally watching the game. And now with this game, we're going to do okay. I didn't know if we'd be able to advance through the full play into the playoffs. We've been fighting, we've been grueling, and we advanced. I think we're the 3 seed. We still have a chance of the money, baby. We are 4 wins, 2 losses. It's been great so far. A little bit of highs and lows, but I've really been pleased with some of the moments and just seeing the hard work pay off. So let's get it in round 2, baby.
That I'm playing pickleball in.
Well, it was a long, hard pickleball day yesterday, so I'm using this bad boy to loosen up the muscles. Thank you for asking me. Morgan.
I actually really liked that clip of Morgan because I think a lot of times Morgan in these videos is maybe venting in an adult way to Paul. At the end of a long day, they're filming, she's exhausted. And people say a lot of times that Morgan is miserable as a mother, and it does seem like she needs more help. But I don't think that at the core of it, Morgan just hates motherhood of her kids. I think she loves her kids, and I think she loves motherhood, but she's overworked and exhausted. That moment, I'm going to back up and we can rewatch it. But that moment of her, you just see like the light in her eyes and the softness that I have not seen from Morgan before. So that was really sweet for me to see because I think that's a new side to Morgan. And that makes me want to give her a little bit more grace in the future when I'm watching these videos. I don't want to say critiquing. I guess I am critiquing them. But when I'm watching these videos, I think I should be probably looking at it from the lens of like Morgan's exhausted and they're having these conversations as a husband and wife. And, you know, they've decided to continue to make videos how they did, where they got all of the negativity, the negative comments from, all of the backlash. And I think part of that is because that video is like double the views of all of the videos. So I'm sure that was part of the conversation when making the decision too. And I just want to see that again and show you, point out what I noticed.
I'm doing my makeup before the tournament today that I'm playing pickleball in.
Well, it was a long day for you. My tournament day was, I would just say, a mixed bag. We can talk a little more about that since people say, well, Paul doesn't open up. Morgan is always the one opening up. But before I do, you have poison ivy in all sorts of places.
Places no one should ever experience poison ivy.
Do you feel like that? I mean, I've seen you struggling the past few days and you've handled it like a champ. Going into your tournament, is it something that you feel like is going to be affecting you, or are you going to block it out?
I think once I get there, I'll block it out. I'll be distracted. I'll have adrenaline pumping through me. It'll be fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. You can do it. You've not had I'm just being real, like amazing tournament turnouts, I guess you could say. You've had more losses than you've had wins.
Definitely. I don't even know what it feels like to win.
This is what I'm talking about, where it seems like they're having a lighthearted conversation. And I say this in all of my critiques of their videos almost. Paul brings these up in a lighthearted way, but it's so negative. Like, why is he pointing out like, oh, you just haven't won? In the I need to repent video, Morgan sobs saying, why did I think I could even do this? I'm a mom. I don't have time to practice. Like, Paul gets to go practice all day, every day. And I can't do that. I'm a mom. Like, why at this time in my life am I doing this? So like, why is he pointing out that negativity? And then, you know, he asked her, well, did you feel like your hard work paid off? And she's like, no, I didn't win at the end of the day. Like, it didn't pay off. And so I just wish, I mean, I guess I'm pointing it out so that you can also notice it. Make your own decisions about what it means. I guess I might not be assessing it correctly in their relationship, but it is just really, it feels very backhanded.
Do you feel like today might be your best tournament yet?
I don't want to jinx it.
We don't believe in jinxes.
I do think it'll be my best one just because I don't know why, actually. I just think I'll just have a fun, chill time, but like also gonna crush it.
Good.
I feel like I feel like I've been playing well the past several times that I've gone out and played.
I agree.
So yes, I think it'll be good.
I personally think that it's going to be your best one yet. We're going to get your duper score up. It can only go up. It can only go up from here. There's only one direction for it to go, and that's up.
That's true. If it goes down, I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
So yesterday was my tournament day. To be honest, like after the tournament ended, I was feeling kind of sad. We ended up taking fourth, which all in all isn't bad because there was some very competitive teams. To keep it brief, midway through the tournament, we were doing really well. There was a game when I just felt like I was playing great, and that was an amazing feeling because of all the hard work that I've put in. And then the very next game, some errors were made and came down a little bit, lost that game. During that game, I felt both of my legs cramp up a little bit. At this point in the game, or at this point in my journey, I feel like I've grown a lot mentally, but for whatever reason, feeling my legs cramp up really got me in not a great headspace. And it was really hard for me to lock back in to the way that I was playing, the energy that I had, the focus that I had, because I started being fearful that my body was going to cramp up big time. I was going to get Charlie horses and just be pretty much debilitated. Is that the right word?
Yes, traumatic, but yes.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing is Morgan was telling me afterwards, she was like, Paul, you tend to be almost play it too safe. And I guess she's got a point there, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I have to like really change the way I'm playing. I can't do explosive movements. I can't jump for balls like I was because I got to protect my muscles to see if I can make it through.
He tends to get scared / like, I think you have this subconscious and conscious fear of like your body's just going to crumble. And like, I don't know, it messes with him sometimes pretty significantly, I think.
I started thinking, and this is still like mid-game, I started thinking months out, and I can't do that. And I know I can't do that. I have to stay in the moment, but this has been an issue with me that I've had where I start thinking long-term and become fearful of what could happen long-term. The Bible says, do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough troubles as it is. And I think that
it sounds like this is an ongoing thing for Paul, so I don't want to harp on this because, you know, people can have health anxiety, and it sounds like this is maybe beyond just him being worried that he might get a muscle cramp, because even if I got a leg cramp in the middle of like softball in the 8th grade, I would be able to keep running. Like, yeah, it hurts, but debilitating is a very big word to use for something like that. But I also want to point out how Morgan is speaking about it. She's giving him feedback here, but it's respectful. She's not putting him down. She's like, I think that it messes with him. I feel like if Paul were delivering this, he would word it a lot differently and maybe make it about Morgan needing to just be more positive or pull through or like find her drive or something like that. I also think that Paul not playing as well as he wanted, it might be possible that he's just kind of reaching for a reason of why that might happen that's beyond his control. Like, well, it's not, I had to do that to protect my muscles. Well, maybe you just didn't play as well as you wanted, and that's okay.
kind of applies in some respects to this. But I started thinking, like, is my body going to be shutting down when I play in a pro tournament? I'm 7 games in playing the biggest game.
He wants to make this about not his actual ability. And we've all known people like this, narcissistic people like this, where, well, it's not that I didn't know how to do my job or that I wasn't doing my job or that I was hard to get along with. It was that, my boss he hated my personality from the beginning, and they really had it out for me, and they didn't want me to succeed.
In my life, and then I'm getting Charlie horses. And again, it's like, well, I can do things to prepare for that. I clearly need to train my body to be prepared for these longer tournaments. Anyway, my mind got away from me for about a game and a half. I was able to lock back in and get another win under our belt. But at the end of the day, we should have had third. We should have got bronze. Instead, we got fourth. And I take a good amount of the blame for that.
But
I'm not a therapist, you guys, and I don't have any training or knowledge of mental health stuff aside from my own experience with my own mental health concerns. But from what I know, like true real narcissist, like severe narcissist, I'm not saying Paul doesn't have like narcissistic qualities. It doesn't mean that he's not an abuser, but typically they're not going to take blame. It's possible that if he knows, the audience wants us to hear it, like I still am skeptical of this whole messaging. It's like, okay, you spent this whole time telling us how this was not your fault because it was a medical problem, essentially. But then at the end, you're like, well, I'm going to still act like I'm really, like hyper accountable.
Tournament is a learning experience. And so we learn and we grow and we move forward. So it's fine. We're figuring it out.
It's very true.
All right, well.
On to you.
This is the hair we're doing. I did this last tournament and it seemed to last and stay.
I like your fit.
I'm wearing the same outfit that I wore actually for the tournament in Tennessee with the jacket on right now.
I wear almost the same clothes every single time.
All right, 2 games in, and you are 2-0, baby. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Just, you guys, I'm trying to give them props where I can because most of their videos I hate everything. And in this video, he's being like more attentive. And yes, this could be because of all the backlash. So we'll see if this is like sustained behavior. But he's there, he claps for her respectfully, gives her her moment, waits for his woo until she's like coming over to him and ready to celebrate. And Paul just had not so great of a tournament, so it could be easy for Paul to maybe feel some jealousy or feel bad a little bit that he didn't perform as well as Morgan. So I do like to see that he's behaving this way and being supportive in these scenes, and I do think we need to give them credit where credit is due. I'd love to see more of content like this from them.
Pickleball club. What I just witnessed, to say I am shocked would be an understatement, and I'm being totally serious.
Right. He ruined it. No. You guys, I literally was like, ooh, I might not even have to post this video because they're being too good. Why does he always have to phrase things negative? You don't have to be like, I'm shocked. Like, no, be like, I'm so thrilled. I knew you were going to do great. You've been doing so good lately. I'm so glad you stuck with it. What? Oh my God. I hope he redeems it. I hope that I just cut him off in the middle of a sentence and he's going to fix it.
When I saw the team they were going up against for the gold medal match, I was just like, I don't see how Morgan and Taylor can pull this one out. And they stinking came back, best out of 3, lost the first game, came back and won next 2 to win gold. Unbelievable.
My face is cramping from the smileys.
In that last game, what were you thinking about? What were you feeling?
I just thought, I think I want this. I have gotten this far. Are you kidding me? I'm playing for the gold medal match. I'm a mom. I play once a week. I'm going to, let's just say
And this is a good example of what I'm talking about, where I'm saying, I think Morgan it's not that she doesn't like being a mom. It's not that Morgan hates her life. It's, look at her when she has an ounce of freedom. She gets to see success, celebrate herself, go out and do something that she enjoys. She doesn't get a lot of that. It seems like it is truly a sacrifice for their family, for Morgan to get time off. I'm so happy for her. Congratulations on your win, girl. You completely deserve it.
going pro with Paul.
Never considered this in the realm of possibility.
Can't believe that I'm here. Now I just want to go kiss my baby.
You're going to say kiss your husband. I am so proud. Big deal what you and Taylor pulled off today. I'm so proud of you guys.
I'm just a mom with 2 little babies. I'm just out here playing pickleball once a week. And like those people that we went up against are singing good and they play all the time. They play all the time and it's, yeah, I just can't believe that. So no one get mad at Paul for being like, I'm so shocked. But like, I'm so shocked too.
See, she knows. And Morgan called it out in the last video too. She was like, we're going to get so much hate over this. And Paul was like, no, people are going to understand that we're tired parents. And again, that's him misunderstanding the issue. But no, Paul was wrong to word it that way. That's something that maybe could have come later, like that evening, I guess. He could have been like, I don't know, not even just the way he worded it was so bad. I feel like there's a way that he could have said, I am so proud of you. When I saw who you got matched up with, I knew that it was competitive and you played your best and you knocked it out of the park. Something like that, not just like I was shocked. I didn't think there was any shot. Like that is just not it's the undercurrent of all of the language that Paul uses. And I don't know if it's conscious or not that he's doing it, but Morgan will always kind of call out these little things. So you know that she's feeling it, you guys. This isn't like we see it and Morgan really doesn't care. Morgan knows what we're going to say because Morgan feels it when it happens. If it truly didn't bother her, they'd be like, literally, what is the issue? I don't care. Morgan's like, no, he's just an honest guy. We don't need him. Honesty without, honesty without tact is cruelty.
Like, I'm not shocked because I really wanted it. And I was just like, why not?
And Morgan, if you're watching this, I know you're not, but you can do so much more even than this. You should be proud of yourself. You worked hard, but you deserve to be able to do even more. And if you gave yourself a little bit more time, you would be able to accomplish so much.
Announcement, I'm going pro with Paul in pickleball.
I had two people yesterday say, Paul, I think your wife may be going pro before you. And if that happens, it happens. And I'm going to be a very supportive husband.
He'll be the stay-at-home dad he thought he was going to be when he married me.
That wasn't the realm of possibility with Morgan's music. Honestly, a great weekend. Really thankful for weekends like this and just seeing you, knowing that that's inside of you is just like a true competitor that wants to go all out with something like that and was able to leave it all on the court, tap into this zone that you rarely get in.
With the zone you rarely get in. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's negging. It's just sandwiched with insults. Everything is laced with insults.
Yeah, as mothers are so invested here at home, pouring into our kids, and then seeing you be able to go and celebrate like victories was great. And I'm so glad for you, baby. It was. I couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock.
Me too. I keep watching them.
It seems like he's actually like trying to come to it. Like, look at his face. He looks like this is like making him sick, actually.
Video of the final point that our friend Sam took and just like all of our pickleball friends there cheering us on, and I just keep smiling. I'm like, oh, so fun.
No, we are very fortunate.
Yeah, super thankful for the pickleball community. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's a really cool just mission field to be able to love these people well and try to be administrators of the gospel with them, because that's at the core of everything that we do.
Yeah.
And there's other Christians in this circle that we can encourage and then look to love people that don't know Christ. So that's a cool thing. I have some good takeaways moving forward. I was chat GPTing yesterday how to have better endurance and prevent cramping for the long tournaments. And it just showed me that there's more that I need to be doing. I'm doing a lot, yeah, but there's more I need to be doing. And so just continuing to step things up. So I will do that.
Amen.
Life is good. We are about to head to see Nate and Sutton. And perhaps
vlog some of that. It's a great time. We'll play some pickleball there, of course.
Of course. And, you know, this was one of those vlogs where it was nice because nothing overly dramatic or emotional happened. And that is, to be honest, like that's a lot of our life. The reality is that is like most of our life. But in my mind, when we're vlogging and then something does come up, I'm like, okay, this is good too, because this is part of our life. And this is a cool opportunity to share this part of our life. But obviously we're figuring out the balance there. Comment below, you guys, if you have any questions for us, or if there's any parts in this video that stood out to you. Shout out again to Morgan for being a true fighter and a victor. We're excited for our next vlog with you guys. We love you all. Be blessed. Have hope.
Be free.
All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to end it there. What did you think about this video? Do you want to see more from Paul and Morgan, or at least me reacting to Paul and Morgan? I'm interested to see if they keep up what happened in this video, or if what I suspect will happen is that Morgan is going to be magically realizing that she needs to take a break from pickleball in the next video or something like that. I'm hopeful that she will continue to play, though. I, of course, want that. As I pointed out, think that she seemed like she was glowing in this whole video, and I think it just goes to show that Morgan is not someone who's just a pessimistic person. She's someone that just needs to have some time to recuperate. Her life is crazy. She's a breadwinner. She's a full-time mother, and she deals with mental health issues that she's very open about. All right, guys, please subscribe, click share, and copy link. You don't have to send it anywhere, I promise, but it helps more than you think that it will. I love doing these videos, and the fact that 55 of you are interested in what I have to say is actually really validating to me and meaningful. You know, deconstructing can be a really lonely process, whether you land in Christianity, a different religion, or you become, agnostic or atheist. It can be really lonely. And so you guys commenting and emailing me and subscribing, liking my videos, it actually really does make me feel like there are more of us out there. I'm not just screaming into the void. It's been extremely difficult to find others who have had backgrounds like me and can understand what I'm talking about when I share life experiences or viewpoints or how culture is impacted by Christianity. I'm kind of rambling, but I just really appreciate it. And thank you guys. I'm super happy to be back from vacation. I mean, that's not really true. I'm really sad to not be on the cruise ship with my fiance anymore, but I am really happy to be back and keep making these videos because it's been a really great outlet for me. All right. Have a great week.